Hello friends and welcome to the Alps of Florida, or Howie in the Hills is what we call it now. William J. Howie called it the Alps of Florida back in the 20s, right around the time that he built this mansion back here. He was a good guy, developed this area into what it is today. So let's go learn some history and tour his mansion, shall we? From the research I did online, I learned a little bit about the community here. There's about 1,000 people that live in Howie in the Hills. William J. Howie was a real estate developer that invited people down here to his glorious citrus groves so they could have a piece of that pie too. This perfect wonderland of Florida. It is late December, it's almost New Year's. It's right after Christmas. I hope you have a good holiday, having a good holiday season. The weather is glorious right now. And, kind of an easy sell for somebody like Mr. Howie. Come on down to Florida and buy some property in this beautiful rolling hills. You saw on the drive in here, it's very pretty. I learned about Mr. Howie himself. Did a lot for the community. Had some pretty remarkable things that happened right here on the grounds. Notable concerts and community gatherings. I want to learn a little bit more about him and see this mansion I've heard about for so long. What an interesting name, huh? Howie in the Hills. I did learn that Mr. Howie bought 60,000 acres of these rolling hills, and sometime after he bought it, about 4 years after, I believe, it was incorporated into the town of Howie. He had invited enough people to buy parts of this land. It became its own community, and then some years after that, it became Howie in the Hills to signify where it was. Florida's not known for its rolling hills, except for in some places, Ocala and right around here and going north, but beautiful part of the state. I'm a little early for the tour, so I'm locked out. Won't be long. 5 minutes prior. We have a little bit of time. Let's walk around the house. I like these pathways, this colored stone. It's cool. What a home. Looks like a rooftop veranda. I think that's the name of it. I really like this colored stone. It's cool. It's quite a grand entrance here. Cool walkway. Next to it is this driveway. Right up into here to this entrance. Ooh, very nice. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves here and see too much before the tour begins, but it's very nice out here, very peaceful. There's a cottage and a guest house above this 3-car garage. A small group of people just waiting to enter, also wandering around the property. Hey dude. Just noticed on the side of the building the stucco, I think that's what it is. There's all different colors of dye used in it, like a camouflage almost. Very interesting, I've never seen that before. Look at these cool hinges on the door. Neat. I haven't even been inside this place yet, and I'm already noticing some really cool details like the woodworking and the trim here around this really nice stained glass. Catherine Cothiel Budd was the architect of this house. She was known for making places for women specifically that would visit their family members during the war. So this was the only piece of her work that we know of that exists that shows off any of her talent. So it's very nice. I'm looking forward to getting inside that door. So they only let video sometimes. They're gonna let me do this today. This might be an interesting tour, we'll see. But right here in Mr. Howie's office is his, also the gift shop. This is where the tour begins. This is the living room. We get a really nice view here of the courtyard with that fountain. It's a nice place. Of course, it's a mansion. Can be seen on the grand piano. I like this garland with the oranges all over. It's pretty cool. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Must be like, oh, they're real. Must be a southern thing or Florida thing, I guess. Citrus. Just wandering around until this tour starts, checking things out. Old fireplace. Huh. It's like an in-house phone. It's wooded. So this room was used for formal entertaining, and the curtain rods and the sconces are all original. They used to have giant burgundy velvet curtains all the way to the floor. Crazy.
The house is built original tile floor. You can see that Spanish and Italian influence.
This is the portage. This is where the family entered the house, and unlike what I said earlier, on this very cool driveway, this is the private entrance to the house.
There is no swimming pool on the property.
Two-tailed siren facing east. Very mythological. Mermaid.
Living room. That with the heavy.
I'm trying to figure out what the walls are.
It hadn't been invented yet, but boy, you felt cool when you walked in here. Eating dinner in the
plaster.
dining room one night, and he's like, floor-to-ceiling bookshelves are original.
It looked like a fake, like a real wall.
It opens the wall. Would you like to go down?
We're in the library. We just learned that there's a secret room. They have this special tool that you reach behind that bookcase, and it takes you to some other place. Let's go find out. And they say that when the door is shut, you can't even tell. It looks like a wall is right here. Wow. It's like a dungeon.
So how many of you just realized that you walked through a safe?
Right behind you.
Oh, yes. Oh. Oh.
Secret
How
hideaways.
far can you see around?
I love secret hideaways. This is so cool.
Do you know why?
I think some interesting things here. The color of the plaster walls here is because it was made of the well water. And then in the rest of the house, they took little shavings of metal, because all the workers worked right out on the front lawn when they were building this. They took little shavings of the metal, mixed it into the water until it rusted, and then mixed the plaster with it to get a different effect. Very creative. This dining room table used to be a door. Church in Perez, Mexico.
Oh, my
The keyhole.
goodness.
This house, for being built in 1925, had electricity and running water, which was completely rare. They believed that this might be the only house, the first house at the time, to have a bathroom in an office, ever. Even have a dishwasher. I don't think that's original to the house, though. As I said, this house had running water when it was built, and this bathroom back here was original to the house. It was the servant's bathroom. At the time, apparently you did not build indoor bathrooms, period, especially not for servants for your home, but Mr. Howie did. Nice kitchen. It's another part of the kitchen with a dumbwaiter. Neat. I want to go up there. We finally get to go upstairs. This is a good tour. It's been about 45 minutes so far. Learning a lot of stuff about Mr. Howie, his family, history of the house, of course, and history of the town. Shut the door. It's like
This room has the bed. When you were a kid growing up, mother would say, go outside for a little fresh air and sunshine. Oh, let me show you another room.
this room was the children's playroom, although it's kind of masculine looking right now with these nice blinds and a lot of dark features. It's where groomsmen get funneled in for weddings. They do a lot of weddings here, apparently, some other like, community events still. Really nice patio out here too. Great view. This is called the deer room because it used to have deer themed wallpaper all around it. They believe that this is the very first Jack and Jill bathroom ever made. Right here. Kind of a weird, interesting thing about the house, huh? Leads into a bedroom, a ladder that goes to a turret on the roof. Mr. Howie lived right between two lakes where he would transport orange juice and oranges to different communities on either side. And from this turret above us, he was able to see that shipping going across those lakes. Pretty cool. This is Howie's room. She had her own bedroom. During the tour, I was really curious about Mrs. Howie and what she looked like, and she was a very important part of Mr. Howie's life. She was 13 years younger than Mr. Howie and was the total love of his life. He really cared for her and did some special things, like included 3 closets. That was very unusual. Closets were taxed at the time. Each closet you had cost more, and he made 3 of them right here, including the cedar closet for her furs. This was high class. It's the only picture in the house of Miss Howie. Now this is Mr. Howie's private room. It's pretty large, probably the largest rooms in the house. Very cool. There's a very cool thing about this room. Check it out. Check this out. It's a secret wall safe. It was broken into some years ago, but that's what's left of it. Pretty cool. Both of the rooms have these call boxes. I wonder if they talk to each other, even though they're right there. They probably did. Wow. This veranda is right off of the master bedroom. Beautiful. Right back here is where Mr. Howie had some experimental citrus groves. He owns 60,000 acres of citrus from here in Lake County to Polk County, which is the next county over. That's a lot. This is the Calvin Coolidge room. It's got a cool story behind it. How cool. When the Howies got done building this house, they had a housewarming party. And as I said in the beginning of the video, they had some community events. Well, their housewarming party was a lot of people. There were 16,000 people that he invited here, including the entire community. 4,000 cars were parked on the property. There was a lot of people and only one guest room. And the President of the United States would take that room. That's why they call it the Calvin Coolidge room. That's Calvin in the black suit. This is where they used that scraps of metal and mixed it with the plaster to give it that look. Our tour guide Fran was explaining how very wealthy people would put the light colored blue in their dome to not only say that they owned all this land, but they also owned the sky above them too. Mr. Howie was a pretty humble guy, it seemed like, but there's some of these traits of the wealthy that are interesting to me. Well, friends, this has been an awesome visit to the Howie Mansion. What a cool history of a really great man and his family here in Central Florida. But this tour is not quite over. It's really cool to take a peek in here. It's William Howie, his wife, Mary, and his daughter, Lois. Assumably the other daughter is buried somewhere else, but there's only 3 spots in here with engravings on it. Although there are 6 spaces, only 3 have engravings. Williams is down there on the bottom, and then right above it is Lois, his daughter. And then down here is Mary. Well, friends, thank you for joining me today on this adventure to Howie in the Hills. What a cool name for a town, huh? Based on a really great guy, William Howie. Friends, I appreciate you being here. Appreciate you joining me on these little adventures. If you like what you're seeing, you know what to do. And I'll see you in the next video. Friends, thanks again for watching today. I didn't feel like this video was totally over until I explained a couple things first. For one, the Howie Mansion sat abandoned for years and years, more than 10 years, and somebody came along and bought it and has spent the last couple of years rehabbing that, spent a lot of money in rehabbing that house, and it's beautiful. You have to go and check it out yourself. Fran, the tour guide, is amazing. She had so much good information, so much. There's no way that I could have put it all into this video. She gave us a lot of cool history about the land around it, about the history of Howie and his family. You just have to go and check it out yourself. Friends, I really appreciate you being here. Thanks again. I'll see you in the next video.